Okay, hello. Right, this is going to be about class diagrams. Very quick one. Right, to create a class diagram, this is student lates. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of forms. You just go to your project, right-click, View, and View Class Diagram. And if you don't see that, the reason for that would be if you run Visual Studio Installer, and then go to Components when that loads up. Come on. So you do Modify. Obviously mine is there because I can do it, but if it isn't, then this will, right, so you go to individual components and then scroll down till you find class design is ticked. By default it's not ticked, so make sure it is. Okay, so on the college machines it is. Right, okay, so we're going to go right click, view class diagram, and you get that. Okay, so it'll do every form, every class that you've got in there. Okay, so so this form one is the main form. So let's expand that. Okay, and you can see there that it's linked to. So these are the fields. So because if I go into double click on there, you can see that's where I've declared student repository, late repository, objects of the late student repository class and late repository class. So I can show a link between those two. Okay, so in order to do that, all you got to do is go to the field, right click, and show as association. Now a collection would mean that's a list. It's not a list, so that's why it doesn't. You can try, but it won't do anything. Right, so you can see that's now connected those two. So I'm just going to move that over there. Now this screen is quite small, so it doesn't really work just brilliantly. Okay, so you can see there we've got late repository. Now I can do the same for student repository as well. Shows association, and there's student repository as well. So I'll just move that over there. So you can see that would do me for the class diagram for form 1. So all I can do there, if I just draw a rectangle around that, okay, I selected those, Control C, go to Word, and then paste, and there we go. That'll do, won't it? That's all right. And then it's an image, so you can resize that as and when you need to. Okay, right. So I want to keep going with this then. So I've also got I'll do form 4 because let's say this is the overall one. So let's expand that one. Right. So I've got late repository and student repositories again. So let's expand that. Shows association, and that'll do the line. Nice. And student repository shows association as well. Okay, it does its best to try not to cross the lines. This form also, right? Let's have a look at this form. So if I just go to add buttons on that form, this is because the reason why we can do that is because you can see those public fields there. Now inside there, it's also creating buttons, but also it's doing user controls as well. So if I do that, add user controls, F12, there we go, and then you can see it's actually creating those as well inside here. So like for instance that line, but because that's inside the method, you can't actually see the relationship there. So even though there is one, you can't see it. So I'm just going to quickly show what we would do with that then. So we would have our user control student late, which actually is created inside there, but you notice there isn't a field there, so we can't show the relationship. But we could show, for instance, we've got student object. So we can show that as an association. That links in with student class there. Okay, so if I was just doing that form, I would rearrange that and then select the ones I wanted, and I would just then paste that in. But I could go crazy with all of those, and I've got lots of other classes as well. So you get the idea. Now, if you make a mistake or you don't want that show that association, just click on the arrow, right click, show as field, and it gets put back in again. Okay, back into there. Okay, and then or you can just do show as association. If you do show as collection association, it won't let you because it's not a list. I don't think I've got an example I can show you there for that. Okay, so that's the class diagrams. They're really easy to do, and they look quite good as well. Okay, that is that.